My mother cheated on my father. I'll refer my mother's lover as John. August 2021, with €100,000 my mother went off to another to start a new business in another city. For me, it was a relief. She always reminded me of how much of a failure I am and I do nothing but playing video games. But for my father, he was a bit insecure. Normally, she would call me or my brother once in a while and visit us once or twice a month, but then, half a year later, we hardly ever hear anything from her. We didn't care much and just let it pass because it was Christmas and she might be busy. My brother went there to visit her for some days and met a man who had quite a close relationship with my mother. 2 months later I went with my brother and the same thought came to my mind when I met this man. In summer, my brother went again and asked my mother about this man and she lied to him saying that it was a friend of her and there's nothing to worry. He had nothing to argue with and stayed in Salience. My father went to see her and he only saw a woman who was uncomfortable with his presence. He arrived at 3 a.m. and was gone already by 5 a.m., and finally, a few months ago, I went to her business without her noticing and I saw an employee of her, he'll go by the name of Sam. Sam did not know about my mother's affair, but told me that no one liked John and it is strange why my mother wanted him to stay even though he wasn't making any profit from his ideas for the business. Anyways, 2 weeks ago my mother came back and sell all of her business for $150K, bought 2 cars with my father's money without him noticing and gave another $60K to my cousin's studies also from my father's account and left us with $10K in total. Her last words to me was that everything was my father's fault because he was unable to show love. I believe that when a person is not taught how to love, it is really difficult to show anything in the future. My father thought that giving everything my mother wanted would be enough, such as Gucci or Balenciaga clothes, cars like Mercedes or Tesla. He always worked really hard and had no vacations just for my mother to have everything she wanted, but in the end, she left him, left my brother and left me. I'm not mad, but I definitely don't love her anymore. She's still my mother, legally, but I'm not seeing her as before. She tried to contact me several times, but I don't know what to do. Any advice? Edit. Honestly, I don't hate her, she's old enough to know the consequences of her actions. She already lost my love and trust on her. My dad don't wants to go to court because he loves her too much and just want her to be happy. On the other hand, my brother hates her, he really does.